East of Mostar in southern Bosnia, villages already emptied by the fighting are now being systematically burned. What's emerging from this devastation is a depopulated buffer zone between land held by the Bosnian Defence Force, the Croats and Muslims, and the Serbian forces to the east. With the bridges destroyed, the only route into this area, a makeshift platform over a hydroelectric dam held by the Bosnians. Some of their political leaders now say the Serbs who left their wreckage of war on Mostar's mountains should never return here, even in times of peace. That the country should be split now into ethnic areas, with Mostar the capital of a Croatian autonomous region. Mostar's Muslims call this a stab in the back. But up in the Veleš mountains, the ragged army of amateur Bosnian soldiers, both Croat and Muslim, prepare for war, not politics. These men were cleaning their weapons for what their commander had said would be a major territorial assault on land held by the Serbs.
Okay, each one of you will get one meal and you'll go up to the crossing by truck, group by group. From there we'll go by another truck as far as it's safe. And with that, battle rations were distributed, some of them bearing NATO's blessing. They moved out knowing they're completely outgunned by the Serbs, but knowing also it is this ragtag army which is gaining territory over these mountains. Under cover of darkness, they moved into position. And at 4:30 a.m., the assault began. By dawn, the Bosnian Defence Force were optimistic. Recent pushes showed that when attacked, the Serbs pulled back their artillery. The few Bosnian tanks repositioned after firing to avoid incoming shells. But few shells came in at first. The Bosnian Defence Force shelled Serbian artillery positions 2 miles out across this high plateau. Their objective, to take these 2 small villages, currently in Serbian hands. Then, suddenly, the Serbian artillery opened up. This was not supposed to happen. They tried to take cover in the rocks. Ciao. It was to go on for hours as both sides sought to take possession of these 2 tiny villages. This artillery battle has now been going on for more than 3 hours as Bosnian forces attempt to push back the Serbians, who are backed by the JNA, over the mountaintops and over the valleys. Down in the village, the Bosnian Defence Force now found itself fighting tanks with their Kalashnikovs. High on the ridge, after 5 hours of fighting, Bosnian soldiers scrambled for their lives from a mountain bunker as Serbian artillery began to pound them too. One of those who'd escaped asked for reinforcements. Our men are out on the mountain, he said. They're being attacked by mortars, artillery, snipers. Can you get help? They tried reaching the command on the field telephone, only to find the cables had been blown up. But there was worse news to come. As the Bosnians attempted to get their wounded off this mountain by truck, the driver ran into an ambush.
20 Serbs came with guns. I drove past them. They shot, and I got hit in the head and the leg. The doctor next to me was severely wounded.
He'd left 3 men up there, including the doctor. The Yugoslav army says it's left Bosnia, but we were to witness countless pinpoint artillery strikes like this one on a mountaintop radio transmitter. And this. The pummeling of multiple rocket launchers, heavy artillery, high precision, the hallmarks of professional Yugoslav soldiers, not Serbian irregulars. Also under multiple rocket attack, the Bosnian commander Jasmin Jaganjac. He said his men had somehow advanced nearly a mile despite the heavy ground and air strikes.
We're fighting against so many weapons. Today you saw there's a huge amount of cannons, multiple rocket launchers, mortars, howitzers, various artillery, tanks, and even aircraft. They fired 3 napalm bombs and 2 rockets.
His men will continue to push their guerrilla assaults against the heavy armor, he says. There is talk here only of military victory, not of political solutions, and the mountains remain a place of total war, a place apart, away from the EC, the UN, where only a single track connects the battlefield to the outside world for those returning alive or dead. Alex Thompson, ITN, in the Veleš Mountains. Alex Thompson, News at 10, in the Veleš